we saw that there were many stewards, like, on the website. And
Right.
we're just wondering, like, why.
Okay. So basically, we have about 7 stewards, I believe it is, and the reason we have so many is because it's a big place and we do shift work. So we have people who, most of our stewards are on days. Actually, they're all on days, but we do, some of the other unions have afternoon stewards and midnight stewards.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps to have somebody closely available in that department. Plus, with the more you have, the more you share the workload, right? So it's not one person always being interrupted. Our grievance number that we actually filed was so high that we needed more people to help take care of everything. So we increased our number recently.
Okay. Why is there a midnight steward? 'Cause
Well, in our union, 1393, there isn't, but in 1001 there is.
Oh, okay.
Because they have midnight shift, right? The janitors, you'll
Okay.
notice, are on nights. In our union, we have people who do afternoon shifts over in HK and library.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Our second question is, what is the most common complaint that the University of Windsor has received while you were in the role of steward?
That's hard to put my finger on.
Yeah, I would say the most common complaint is job evaluation.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of outstanding. We have a lot of outstanding job evaluation. Our collective agreement says that if you apply for a job evaluation, it will be done within 6 months. We have people who have been waiting up to 5 years and still haven't had it done yet. And basically it's because HR hasn't scheduled them. So we have a lot of complaints in that area.
So how do you deal with things like that? Because you're dealing with a whole new department. Like, you're dealing with a human resource department. So how would you deal with, like, calming down the union members and dealing with the HR department?
Well, with the members, by filing a grievance, shows them that we're taking the next step and trying to get the issue resolved.
Okay.
As far as HR goes, we have meetings with HR. Bob and I do a lot of reminder phone calls, pleading phone calls to find out, what the problem is, what the holdup is, why we're not moving ahead. It's not always HR's issue. It could be that the department has held on to the job description, we're not aware of it. Or it could be that there's problems with the job description, so we need to go back and see, the people involved. It could be a lot of different scenarios.
Okay. So our next question is, how did you deal? Okay, well, actually, you just explained how you dealt with the complaint, and okay. So our next question is, what is the significance of the grievance procedure at the University of Windsor? Like, what is its role? Why is it important? And what is its purpose?
Grievance procedure is important because we have a collective agreement with the University of Windsor which defines our rights and it defines their rights with regard to managing us. So the grievance procedure is important because if someone feels that their rights have been infringed on, it gives us a proper process to follow with the employer to actually find out whether there was a violation of the collective agreement or whether there wasn't a violation of the collective agreement.
Our next question is, would you classify the university as a contemporary organization?
Define contemporary organization.
It's the opposite of traditional, like a traditional organization.
As far as unions concerned?
Or generally?
Yeah, I guess both.
I've never considered
Like, is
that
it
question.
more of a modern, is like the way unions deal with their members more in a modern sense, or following that traditional from like back in like 1950s, how they dealt with their members? Or
I would say tradition.
Yeah, I mean, it's the university. You have a lot of different trade unions on campus, and within the trade unions, you have different locals. So it's very diverse trade union membership. It's not like a one employer, one union workplace.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I would say it's almost impossible to define the employer, because each different union local has different issues with the employer. So how one local sees the employer might be entirely different from how another one sees the employer.
But as far as the grievance procedure, all locals basically have the same steps. There's different steps in grievance, so you try and resolve it with the department first, okay, without having to involve HR. So a steward may receive a complaint, and they will speak to the person who's has the issue, but then they may speak to other people around to see if it involves other people. They may speak to the management, try and resolve it. And then if that isn't satisfactory and they're not getting anywhere, then at that time we will file a grievance with HR. So, and then HR responds. Sometimes they resolve it, sometimes they don't. If we can't come to a resolution with the two parties, then we go to arbitration on it.
Oh, okay. Is there ever a time where mediator is called, or is it just arbitration?
Actually, we just used mediator for the first time recently. Normally we choose to go to arbitration over mediation. And the difference being that an arbitration will make a decision on one party winning. Mediation will come to hopefully a resolution where both parties will be happy, come kind of in between. And we don't always necessarily want to come in between, because the rules are written in the collective agreement and we want them adhered to.
Okay. So is that how the grievance procedure works? Somebody has like an issue or a complaint that they want to make. They come to you, or can they come to any of the stewards? Like, can they come to you as well? Or?
Yeah, they can come to any steward.
Okay.
I mean, there's 5 steps to a grievance. So step 1 is actually quite informal, where it's just maybe a steward is involved and they talk to the person and they talk to the manager and see if they can work it out. Step 4 out of 5 is actually when you file paperwork with human resources, and that's when you can't get a resolution through steps 1 through 3.
What happens in steps 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, actually, let me give you a
Look it up
copy so you
you.
can look at it. Pardon me?
Can we actually keep this?
I can give you one to keep, only because that's all we have left
Yeah.
until the new ones come in.
You want to look on page 17, article 11.
Oh, here we go.
That's it. That's the whole process right there.
Big picture. No, we got this. Yeah.
It's actually online. It's on the website.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What was it, 17 one?
Page 17, yeah.
Okay.
So yes, step 1, the employee has the grievance, they discuss it with their immediate supervisor, and if they want they can have a steward attend. If they can't get resolution from step 1, then we go to step 2, so where the employee presents a grievance in writing to the steward. Now, writing these days usually means via email.
And sometimes when the steward receives it, it may not even be a valid complaint. Like, you may come, for instance, and say, my employer is making me come work overtime tonight, and often the employees don't even know what the rules are. You know what I mean? So they come here, and if Bob receives it, he may say, oh well, if it was scheduled overtime, if he gave you 2 weeks notice or whatever, then it's valid. He's allowed to do that. You know what I mean? So it's not really, it may not even be a complaint.
So would you say that